Morning, everyone. Before we get started in today's update, I want to go over exactly what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the bearish cross that formed on XRP and Bitcoin that we talked about yesterday that's starting to pull down as XRP is approaching a major support area of 407. If we break that, it'll allow us to get down to our 3955 target approximately. We're also going to talk about what Brad Garlinghouse said, how he talked about XRP's price and how it wasn't made to have a substantial dollar amount. So it's in his own words. I'll play that as well. I want to thank some from the Telegram for sharing that. And then also, we're going to get into the actual technical analysis behind everything. But real quick, consider getting rid of this and buying some of this. In my opinion, this is the most undervalued commodity in the world. That's silver. Consider buying that while you can for this paper shit. Buy some of this. That's my advice this morning for you. Silver, my favorite commodity in the world, my favorite metal, the most undervalued commodity in my opinion, and it's shy of 24 bucks this morning an ounce. So take that for what it's worth, and I'll see you on the other side of the intro. Make sure to hit that like button. If you hit that early in the videos, it does help me get through the analytics. And I appreciate a few of the comments talking about the weight I've lost. Even though I wasn't big, I've definitely thinned out, and I've been lifting weights and stuff for the last 3 months now. So I appreciate the ones who have actually noticed that. See you on the other side. Good morning, 9:34 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Friday, February 3rd, 2023. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. And as you can see, the U.S. dollar currency index is up to 102.45. That's incredible. It's had a nice bounce up here. And we talked about how the U.S. dollar needed to get out of this channel. And it's our last hope. And if we had to break down even farther, we could do this. But this could be the head formation with this little dip down. And now if we can get a nice area of support, the inverted, we could hold this 102.22. And then we can start pushing up to this 104.07. I didn't think that was ready for the U.S. dollar to die. But look how fantastic and on the money these the lines are for everybody to see. We held this downtrending support. And we've talked about how until we break 103.35 approximately, this pattern was just going down for consolidation, and it went all the way down to 100.80 approximately. Now we're having a nice boost up. The actual stock market is getting killed. Dow's down 112 points right now, 151 in front of you. S&P's down 42.29, and the Nasdaq's down over 208 points. As you can see, that's what I watch on here all day. The charts, I don't really have the volume on for Bloomberg because I don't care what they're talking about with their politics. But I like watching the numbers on the side of the TV. If we go down to gold and silver, is under a lot of pressure today. I warned everybody that gold and silver was going to have a nice little breakdown. And now it's happening. I told you. It was not ready to go parabolic, even though a lot of people were saying gold and silver were going parabolic. I've talked about this uptrend, and I've talked about how I think personally that gold and silver would have to, at minimum, it's going to retest at 1800 and, man, we've already come down here to 1875. But I thought that 1864 level would have to be hit, but I'm not convinced that we don't come all the way back down to like 1677 and hold that. It would be, actually, you know what, that would be kind of ridiculous to just say, oh, that's exactly where we're coming. Because this is the uptrend that I had before that. It would be the second layer, and if we didn't want to break down all the way, we would still have to come down here. That's how I knew that this pattern wasn't done. That's at 1868. So we've had a healthy drop here in correction. But look, guys, the gold-silver ratio is up to 82.863. So a tremendous deal to buy silver. It got a little bit cheaper today. And we're still coming, like I've been talking about, this uptrending support, which I knew we were going to hit eventually, and now we did. 22.72. Now, if you break that, we've got a little bit more work to do, ladies and gentlemen. Because our next uptrending support, roughly, you know what? You know what? There's a middle ground here. I didn't even notice until just now. They could technically do that as well. So that's your overextension right there. I didn't even realize that little area. So that's what we're looking at for gold and silver, but enough of that. We've got XRP sitting at 4082 right now. We have started this bearish cross overnight. We had a couple of little moves up, but now we're on the bottom side of this again, and that's in the 3-hour time frame. So we're about to have a bearish cross here in the 3-hour, but in the 30-minute, we've started making serious noise here in the past few hours. We created a head and shoulders pattern on the outside here, especially if we break down. Now we're on the bottom side of the 200, and we talked about this yesterday if you had a trade set up. I wasn't advising anybody to trade it, but I was showing you exactly how to trade this, and exactly what I talked about happened. You had the bearish cross, trick the technical traders, had a pushback up to the 414 level, approximately 41349. So anybody who had strict stop losses, they're all out now, even if they were shorting it and got it right. They're all out because their stop loss pushed them out. If you're looking at the immediate pattern that was created, which looks very bearish, that's your immediate pattern, which we're already starting to give away. So if you start looking at this, that is not a good sign for XRP. Not a good sign for XRP. In the immediate short term, I still think that 3955 level is in play. And that would be the uptrending support, like I showed yesterday, and we're going to do it again. These are going to be jam-packed, informative videos. So from January 23rd, there was 3 rejections right there, right off the top. Well, we can... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if you count those. Now, if we don't count that very first one I did, we've only had 5 instead of 6 hits. And there's a reason why I would say that you do that instead, because we're starting here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 last night. So we've had 6 hits of this downtrending resistance, and we failed every single time. Every single time. So now you have 6 hits on resistance and you can't break it. The likelihood is you're coming down here to make sure this uptrending support is still valid. And that's at about the 3955 level. Let's see where it's at on the uptrend. Exactly. Yeah, the 3955 is exactly where we're looking at. So that's what I'm looking at for XRP, for it to play out like that this morning. Nothing more, nothing less. And if you ask me, well, Tom, what the hell is going on the grand scales for XRP? Well, the grand scale doesn't look great. We're trying to hold this area so that this is more of an extension down. And then if we hold this, our next move back up would be about the 43285. And ultimately, we've got up here at the 46 cent. But you've seen my 446 level on the breakdown of the bull flag. These are just the expanded levels. That is all. And then if we bring this into the grand scale, just so you guys can see what I'm thinking long term, we're still within a very wide part of the pattern. We have downtrending resistance that could bring us all the way up here to the 45.6 level. And underneath the uptrend, even if we hold, can bring us all the way back down to the 333 level. And then if you break that, that's how you get to the 2017 uptrend, which is a 6-year-old uptrend that gets you down to the 18.5 level. This uptrend here is only about a 2-year uptrend. And that would have 33632, almost 3 years now, is that uptrend. So that's how we get those numbers. So got to wait. That pattern goes all the way out to 2025, 2026. I know a lot of people are impatient, but that is what I'm seeing, in the current pattern formations. Right now, Algo popped out, so we're going to see what that's about. But it did hit its downtrending resistance, but it did break up after a small cross. I'm not seeing much evidence of the rest of the broader market doing the same thing, because a lot of the market's losing its support right now. We got to see for a candle spike with XRP, as right now that 4091 level, you get a candle close under that. That's going to help push us farther down. But we did have a spike just like Algo did last night. We went all the way from, what did we end up hitting last night? We were down here. Let me go to the 30-minute, because we did have a nice spike up there. But let's focus on Bitcoin. Bitcoin in the 30-minute, you can see we're still bearish. Came up and did a little pop-up here. We got to get back up above 23,460. Otherwise, this pattern's going to finish out. And we've got lower ambitions here, folks. We've got a little lower ambitions here. Whoops, clicking the wrong chart. We're trying to come back down to this uptrending support. This is the very obvious level at 23,000. There's actually about 23,060 is a very key level here. It's very likely that that would hit as well. It really is. We got downtrending resistance right here. 1, 2, uptrending support. 1, 2. Try to make it a third time, but this pattern is filling out. So that's what I'm looking at for Bitcoin to come back to around 23,090 and see how we react from there. Before I leave, I want to show you what I promised. I'm going to show you this clip of Brad Garlinghouse, and make sure you hit that like button as he talks about the price of XRP, and it might shock a few of you when he says it wasn't meant for a high price. So just listen, there's a lot of tokens in lieu of a lot of price and of a high price, so just pay attention to what he's saying.
100 billion XRPs will be enough to cover once the XRapid service scales to a global full scale, or would there be a shortage?
Well, so when XRP was created, this actually was created before Ripple existed. The creators of XRP decided there'd be 100 billion units because they saw it as rather than having a smaller number with a very high price, they saw it as something they wanted to be effectively a global reserve currency.
Issued 100.
So did you hear that? Instead of creating a little XRP and have a high price, the creator decided to create a lot of XRP and have a lower price. You let that sink in. That's why I keep saying let's focus on $10 and $5.62 or $5.59 in 2026, and not have our hopes up at $10,000 or $1,000 or even $100. Let's not count our chickens before the eggs hatch. I'd be very happy with $5.59 in 2026. As on 10,000 shares, that would be $55,000. And if you're not liking that, you're greedy. You get to $10, that's $100,000. So we'll play the game to $10, and then we'll see from there. But I'm not convinced that XRP is anything more than the basket for all of crypto, a stable coin. So if you send your money, a stable coin for all of crypto, not stable coin in the sense of stable coins. It was created so that if you buy something like Matic, it can't be sold into your native currency. You would simply transfer it into XRP and then sell the XRP into your native currency. That's why it's a basket for all of crypto. And I believe that's the true intention for XRP, as well as all the big plans that we have with XRP. That's the mainstay, and why I think it's very important for each and every one of us to own. Hashtag be better, do better. Hashtag FUD assassins. And remember, help one person each and every day. Because if I don't do my part and you don't do your part, what the hell is the point? Look in the video description below if you want to support me. You can join Tom's Army. Use the exchanges I use, which is MEXC. If you're in the USA, you can buy XRP, your ISO coins, no VPN, but you need one for BitGet, the VPN, if you're a new user. And if you want to join Tom's Army, there's a link in the video description below. Also, and before I leave, Marvin, I seen the super thanks, and I'm blessed. I can't believe you sent me a super thanks. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I seen that in the comments from yesterday. So thank you for that super thanks. I'm truly blessed.